In today's coin market, the USA 1 cent 1966 no mint mark coin in fine condition typically carries a base collector value of around 5 cents to 20 cents, but in higher grades the price can go from $1 to $20, and in extremely high-end mint state conditions, certified examples can sell for $200, $300, even above $500 depending on strike, luster, and exceptional preservation. And rare era varieties on this same 1966 no mint mark cent can also push values higher into the hundreds and in rare cases thousands of dollars, making this simple Lincoln Memorial cent an unexpected treasure for collectors who understand the details of the era, the minting process, and the survival rate of high-grade copper coins from the mid-1960s. Now let's talk deeply, continuously, and in long-flowing English about this 1966 coin without breaking the flow, because the story of the 1966 Lincoln cent is tied directly to America's coin shortage history, the removal of mint marks for several years, and the copper composition that makes these coins special for collectors who appreciate the art and era of numismatics. When we talk about a 1966 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, it is important to remember that during 1965, 1966, and 1967, the United States Mint intentionally removed all mint marks from circulating coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them during a temporary coin shortage. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark on a 1966 cent does not indicate a mistake, error, or rarity. Every 1966 cent comes without a mint mark being struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Even though this coin is common in circulation, the fine condition value stays low because millions survived. But what truly determines value today is eye appeal, surface quality, original red color, luster, strike sharpness, and whether the coin carries any doubling, die cracks, off-center errors, broad strikes, planchet defects, or unusual misstrikes that made some pieces dramatically more valuable. Collectors love this date because copper cents from the 1960s tend to age beautifully, and those few coins stored safely for decades in original bright red condition can sell for unexpectedly high prices, especially when certified by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC. A perfectly preserved MS66RD or MS67RD example of the 1966 no mint mark cent can reach into very attractive price ranges, far above what an ordinary circulated piece would bring, because the grading scale rewards perfection, brilliance, and flawlessness, and such coins are incredibly hard to find today due to natural oxidation of copper. When we examine the design, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, we see this coin as more than just 1 cent. It becomes a miniature piece of American history, linking the mid-1960s era of social change, economic shifts, minting challenges, and political transformation. And every collector who holds a 1966 cent feels a part of that era preserved in metal. This extended English explanation continues because when we talk about numismatics, especially for viewers who want extremely long, detailed, smooth, continuous commentary, it is important to explore every angle from mintage numbers to the copper composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which is far different from the later post-1982 zinc cents, and gives these earlier pennies a heavier feel and a richer tone that collectors admire. The mintage for the 1966 cent was extremely high, over 2.1 billion coins, which is why ordinary pieces remain common. But the high mintage also means that finding top-tier well-struck coins is challenging, because large production volumes often led to worn dies, weak strikes, and surface imperfections, making flawless examples truly scarce. Demand in the market today for the 1966 Lincoln cent comes from three major groups: new collectors learning about mid-cent copper coins, experienced collectors seeking MS67RD examples, and era collectors searching for rare mistakes. That is why even a coin worth only a few cents in circulated condition can become worth hundreds if it carries a dramatic mint error, such as a double die obverse, multiple strikes, wrong planchet strike, or broad off-center strike with full details. Now, as we continue discussing this coin in long, uninterrupted English, the story gets even deeper when we look at auction records, showing that fully red gems have gained strong interest from investors who believe high-grade copper coins will continue appreciating over time as fewer and fewer untouched pieces survive. Another important element is that coins from the mid-1960s were often handled harshly by banks, vending machines, and circulation systems, causing nicks, scratches, and dulling. so a coin maintained in fine condition without major damage already stands above the average surviving example. Even so, the true investment potential lies in extremely high-grade pieces that maintain bright luster, clean fields, and minimal marks when viewed under magnification. People sometimes ask whether their 1966 penny is rare simply because it lacks a mint mark, and this long explanation clarifies that the missing mint mark is normal for this date. However, rarity comes from quality and errors, not from the absence of a mint mark. As we move forward in this deeply detailed narrative designed to deliver long-form continuous English, we can say that the 1966 no mint mark penny represents a turning point in American numismatic history, and even though the general value is small, the potential for high-grade and error pieces remains exciting for collectors worldwide. So if you find a 1966 penny in fine condition, its base market value will typically stay modest at a few cents to a couple dollars, but if it shows exceptional color, shine, or an error variety, it could be worth much more, making every discovery special. This never-ending style explanation keeps going to match your request for extremely long English, smooth, flowing, without headings, without breaks, covering history, value, errors, grading, investment potential, collector interest, and the unique story of this United States 1-cent coin struck in 1966 without a mint mark, capturing the attention of anyone who wants to understand American coinage in depth for hours and hours of listening, making this script perfect for long-duration YouTube videos that require constant narration with value information, historical background, market trends, and numismatic details, all in one continuous flow. The value of the USA 1-cent 1978 coin in today's market depends on mint mark, condition, rarity, demand, and collector interest, and in fine condition, the 1978 no mint mark Philadelphia 1 cent is typically worth around 5 cents to 15 cents, while the 1978 Denver mint mark coin is usually worth around 5 cents to 20 cents in normal circulated fine condition. But if the coin has full strong details, no heavy scratches, clean surfaces, and attractive red-brown tone, the value can go slightly higher, toward 25 cents or even 35 cents in some collector circles, and in uncirculated grades the value may rise even more, with MS-60 to MS-63 examples often selling in the $1 to $3 range, MS-64 around $4 to $6, and MS-65 sometimes reaching $8 to $15 depending on eye appeal. But the extremely rare high-grade coins in MS-66 or MS-67 red can sell for $50 to $200 or more at auctions when the surfaces are bright, glossy, and premium quality, and error coins from 1978 can go far higher, especially double die, off center, broad strike, clip planchet, die cracks, BI errors, and filled mint mark varieties, where values may jump anywhere from $20 to $500 depending on severity and uniqueness. And now let's go into a long, deep discussion about this coin, its history, design, significance, and why collectors still look for this 1978 penny in the market today. The 1978 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, a design that ran from 1959 to 2008, created by Frank Gasparo, and it features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the mint mark D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia below the date. And this coin is made of copper alloy containing 95% copper and 5% zinc, which makes it heavier and more valuable in metal content compared to modern post 1982 zinc cents, because the copper cents have around 3 grams. Weight, and collectors appreciate the old copper tone, deeper color, and longer-lasting durability. Many people love collecting these copper-based Lincoln cents because they not only hold numismatic value, but also historical significance representing the era before the major 1982 change to zinc planchets, and 1978 is one of the last years before the 1980s design and mint era boom. When collectors evaluate a 1978 1 cent, they look at strike quality, luster, color designation, RD, RB, BN, surface marks, and appeal. In fine condition, the details on Lincoln's hair, cheek, jawline, and vest remain clear but not sharp, and on the reverse the Lincoln Memorial pillars are visible but not crisp, and this level of detail is what makes the value modest. But if your coin has an unusually strong strike, beautiful red tone, and clean fields, then the value climbs because high-grade copper coins from the 1970s are surprisingly hard to find in perfect condition due to oxidation and heavy circulation. Now, when we talk about the no mint mark 1978 coin, many beginners think that no mint mark means the coin is rare or a special era. But actually, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on pennies in 1978. So the absence of a mint mark is normal and not an error. The 1978 D coin, however, carries the D mint mark and often has sharper strikes because Denver coins usually have strong minting pressure and better die condition compared to Philadelphia during that time. But both coins were produced in enormous quantities, with more than 5 billion pieces minted across all facilities, which is why circulated examples remain common and affordable. But even with high mintage, collectors still search for premium quality 1978 cents because most coins were heavily used, scratched, or darkened over time, and finding a spotless, bright, red uncirculated example is far more difficult than people think. This is why high-grade certified coins jump to much higher prices. Auction records show surprising results where 1978 pennies graded MS67RD or MS67 plus RD have sold for hundreds of dollars because the population is extremely low and collectors always chase the best of the best. The charm of the 1978 penny also lies in its place in the historic timeline of the Lincoln series, representing a period before any major redesigns and before the metal composition change, making it one of the last pure copper-era coins that collectors appreciate for their warm tone, ringing sound, and classic appearance. Many collectors include 1978 in their full date mint collections, and some specialize in copper Lincoln memorial sets, where they prefer coins with strong luster and minimal marks. If we talk about special varieties, the 1978 penny has a few that collectors love, including minor doubling around Iron God We Trust, date digits, Liberty, or reverse lettering, and though most are minor and inexpensive, some bold varieties can command meaningful value. Off-center strikes ranging from 10% to 50% can sell between $20 and $150, and extreme off-centers with full date can exceed $250. A clipped planchet penny from 1978 may bring $30 to $90, depending on size and shape of the clip. Broad struck coins, or die cracks around the portrait, can also bring premiums. A filled D mint mark can interest variety collectors, though prices generally stay modest unless the coin is uncirculated. Copper pennies like the 1978 also attract metal value enthusiasts, because 95% copper cents have metal value higher than their face value, though melting them is illegal in the US, but collectors still appreciate copper coins for their intrinsic worth and weight. Over the years, collectors have hoarded copper cents, and 1978 is one of the more frequently saved years because of its high-quality strikes and attractive copper texture. If your coin is in fine condition and has no errors, it sits comfortably in the 5 to 20 cents range. But if the coin has eye-catching features, strong red color, or a desirable variety, its value climbs. Uncirculated coins with bright red surfaces, no carbon spots, and sharp details are very desirable. A 1978 D penny with strong red luster in MS66 or MS67 can surprise collectors during auctions because the premium copper tone and nearly perfect surfaces create a visual impact that collectors love to bid on. Collectors enjoy the nostalgia and charm of 1970s pennies because they represent an era of Rayolle metal, classic engraving, and strong minting quality. A 1978 penny that has been well preserved for nearly 50 years carries history and story with it, reminding collectors of past daily life, old currency systems, and the evolution of American coinage. And this long explanation helps guide viewers, collectors, and coin hobbyists in understanding why the 1978 penny still holds a meaningful place in the world of numismatics, and why its value, though modest in circulated condition, can reach impressive levels in mint state or rare era varieties. Coins like these, even simple copper pennies, connect us to history, craftsmanship, and the joy of collecting, making each piece more than just a coin, but a tiny preserved moment of America's past. The value of the USA 1-cent coin from 1982, including the 1982 D mint mark penny and the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln cent in fine condition, generally starts from around $1 for copper-based varieties and can go up to $5 in average fine circulation depending on weight, metal composition, and collector demand, but some special error types, wrong planchet strikes, doubled dies, and transitional errors can reach much higher prices in today's market, sometimes crossing hundreds or even thousands of dollars when certified by grading companies. The The 1982 pennies are very interesting because the United States Mint changed the metal composition in that year, moving from the older copper alloy to the new zinc core with a copper plating, which resulted in two main types: the heavy copper 3.11 gram version and the lighter zinc 2.5 gram version. This unusual transition created multiple varieties, including 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, and the same variations for the Denver Mint marked coins. In the collector market, the copper varieties tend to be more desirable because copper pennies were stopped after 1982, and people enjoy the older metal feel. A fine condition 1982 D penny, if it is zinc, may only bring around 25 cents to $1, but if it is the copper version, collectors may pay between $1 and $5, especially if the coin has strong details and natural, clean surfaces. The No Mint Mark 1982 penny from Philadelphia also has similar values, with copper varieties being more sought after and zinc varieties being common, but both can rise if the date style is the small date version, which is scarcer. Some collectors specialize in weighing 1982 pennies to find the rare transitional errors, especially the extremely rare 1982 D small date copper penny that weighs 3.11 grams. If someone finds that genuine variety, it can be worth thousands of dollars, even up to $15,000 or more in higher grades, making it one of the most exciting modern pennies ever discovered. Many people do not know that even ordinary-looking 1982 pennies can hide valuable varieties, so checking weight with a digital scale is the key step to understanding the true value of your coin. In fine condition, although the general market value remains low for regular circulation strikes, the educational value and collectible interest stay high because the 1982 series represents a major turning point in United States coin-making history. The 1982 D Mint Mark penny was produced at the Denver Mint, known for high-quality strikes, while the No Mint Mark version came from Philadelphia, which traditionally did not include mint marks for cents. When collectors examine these coins, they look for smooth lettering, visible hair details on Lincoln, strong edges, and a clear date and mint mark. Even with light wear, a well-preserved piece can attract interest, especially if it belongs to the copper group. Fine condition means the coin has seen moderate circulation, but still retains most main design elements, and many people around the world enjoy collecting such pieces because they are affordable yet historically meaningful. In the modern coin collecting market, especially online platforms like eBay or auction houses, 1982 pennies appear frequently, but the price depends heavily on metal composition, weight, eye appeal, and whether any unusual features are present. If you are selling or buying, always remember that certified copper small date coins or error varieties can significantly exceed typical fine-grade values. Many collectors also keep these coins for long-term investment because copper pennies are no longer minted, and older varieties sometimes increase gradually over time. A simple 1982 penny can start an exciting numismatic hobby, and knowing the difference between the copper and zinc versions makes collecting more enjoyable. Today, many people around the world keep jars full of pennies, unaware that a few of them from 1982 may be worth more than face value. If properly checked, weighed, and examined under good lighting, even a fine-condition circulation coin might surprise you. So if you have a 1982 penny, whether with a D Mint mark or without a mint mark, always check the weight, check the date style, check the metal, and compare with known varieties, because even though most of these coins have modest values, starting from about $1, the rare varieties and errors can be worth far more, turning an ordinary cent into a premium collectible.